Now we move to the Waipuna Halswell-Hornby-Riccarton Community Board. Mike, Chair of the Board, welcome.
Thank you very much, and an apology from my Deputy Andre Moore, who had recently flown to Auckland, so he thought he might be better off not coming in today, so that's the reason.
All right, thank you.
But anyway, it's 6 meetings since our last report to the council, so there's quite a lot in here. I don't want to go over everything that's in our report, but anyway, everybody's got it. But there's just some things that I'd like to to explain, and that's the approval of the extension of the boundaries of the Greater Hornby Residents Association out towards Marshes Road, towards Prebleton. And one of the reasons for that is because of the Enviro Waste toxic waste plant that's being moved there, and also a huge tyre shredding operation that's going to be in Hornby Ward, so that we're really concerned about that. And you'll see that we've also granted up to $10,000 for some experts to on dust and contamination, air quality monitoring, and that as well. So just touching on a few other things in our report, is we got the 2 pardays that you'll be talking about later on, and we've had the community organisations in COVID lockdown, and really appreciate the extra funding that our community boards have got through the annual plan process to help support those community groups and organisations as well. So that's a big thank you for that. And we've got community service awards and things like that coming up, but also there's just some things that I wanted to just to touch on quickly. Is the Culture Galore, which we had in February this year. Over 6,000 people turned out to that, and what a wonderful event that was. And we also had the Hello Hornby event in March, community event, and Connect 2020, which is was in Harrington Park, and that's an opportunity for the students, transient student population, to actually mix and mingle and get to know with the established residents in the area. And yeah, sorry. I'll go to these slides now. The community. I haven't got anybody to push the buttons here, so I just.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh yeah, the Part A's. The first one on there was the Part A's on the Riccarton Road and the dedication, which I've already spoke to, but that was on our PowerPoint as well. So now I'll go to the that's the one. So we're really pleased that the council are being party to this appeal to the Environment Court, and we're just really disappointed that when an organisation or a business gets a resource consent for their operation with a huge, overwhelming support, not support from the community, but alarms from the community, and then when they get the consent, then they appeal it. They want those conditions, some of those critical conditions, and that consent removed. So I'm really pleased that this organisation is actually standing up for the people in this matter. So that's now. Could I click to the next one? Is the community board plan. We're really pleased with that, and I hope everybody's got a copy of that. So that's something that we've been working on, and yeah, we're going to adopt it in at our August meeting. Thank you. And then the Waterloo Road, we've got we've got a little video clip here, and I'd just like to acknowledge the Hornby High School students, Zoe Evans and her colleagues that that put this together. It's longer than you're just going to see the first clips of it to see what the. So I'll let you watch this. Every day it's like this.
Students are crossing this road without any clear crossing. There's a high school, a primary school, and an early learning centre along this section of Waterloo Road. There are plans to add a leisure centre across from Hornby High School in car park, and a cycleway down Waterloo Road. This will be completed in the next few years. Adding to the dangers of Waterloo Road. Is a few years too far away? Should something be done now?
Isn't in the right place, obviously.
Is anything being done?
I'm sure an engineer would get on that.
Here's what people of the community have to say on this matter. Do you think...
So that's quite dramatic, and I really appreciate the work that they've done. And that, trust me, that was not a setup. If you go there any day of the week, you will see exactly that happening. And since I've also just met with the principals of both Hornby Primary and Hornby High School, and they really want to meet on staff with the elected members from our community board or anybody else, and the staff, and to actually see firsthand the volumes and the speed and the size of those the big trucks and trailers that are trumping up and down there. And there's no pedestrian crossing as such. There's nothing. There's refuge islands and that's it. So it's really, and when we get the new libraries aquatic centre and that across the road, of course, if the kids from those schools want to get to catch a bus, for example, they've got to go through the subway under the railway line, through Cole Park and into the mall area to catch their buses. So there's a huge, volumes of young people travelling that way every day, to and from, every day. So it's something that we really urge some action on. So that's really it from me.
All right,
I'd just like to say formally that that Zoe is and her team. There's a lot more to that production than what we've seen, but it's just amazing to see that young people have actually taken the initiative to actually do something like that for themselves. So it just shows you that they really care about themselves and their classmates and want something done about it. So top marks.
All right, thank you. So I've got a link to that video on the run sheet here. I don't know whether that's been distributed more widely. It would be good if that could be distributed among all councillors if it hasn't been already.
Yes.
And my question, if I wanted to go and observe what we've just seen on the video firsthand, what's the best time for me to go there and see that?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Absolutely.
All right, that's great. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yep.
Sarah.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, it was good talking to the students out there a couple of months back now. There will probably be a traffic management plan, a whole pile of work happen when the
Cycleway?
Well, the cycleway's a bit further down.
No,
so
the cycleway goes past the school.
Does it go past on that
Yes,
bit?
it does.
So with that, do you have a time frame that you can talk to the schools on that? And then, because there's the stuff that has to happen around Kyle Park development with the Southwest Leisure Centre too.
Yes, well, we've just heard from our engineers here this morning that there's work in progress in that, is there not? So,
Yeah.
would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry to
because
put
if
you on
there's
the-
a potential for that section of cycleway to be built first, for example, or Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, the project team's currently working on a design for a crossing around this location, and that design's about 85% complete at the moment.
Yeah.
There's also, in terms of construction, obviously it's got to go through the approvals process in there as well, but it would look to accelerate the construction of it ahead of the other work as well. So.
Yeah. And are there temporary measures that we can do in the meantime? And does the school have a travel safe plan? I mean, is there, there's a pedestrian refuge there. Can we guide students? I mean, can the school participate in stuff as well?
We do school travel planning, usually with
Primary
some
schools.
primary and intermediate schools, but we do occasionally do that with high schools if they want to participate in that. There's obviously that comes with the schools has to sort of buy into that as well, and it also contribute to in terms of buying into the outcomes of that.
And with, I mean, that takes a bit of a time anyway, but with the innovating streets, kind of the changes that have been made for accessible streets, those kind of things, are there temporary measures that we can put in until the cycleway is under construction at the site to enable safer crossing without, because those things don't need huge consultation?
No, I mean, there's potentially. I haven't looked at that, so
Could maybe that be one of the things that the board and you guys look at? Because there's heaps more potential in that for the temporary stuff, and I've seen examples in other cities now where that's been done.
Yeah.
So.
And there's another project that we'd want to get into the LTP, and that's a Chalmers Street extension, right through Kyle Park to the intersection of Hay Road. So that would
Traffic.
That would take a lot of traffic and pressure away from the Hornby Mall itself, and it would improve the safety of pedestrians, cyclists, and everybody through that corridor.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a work in progress. The design work has already been done for that. It's in this building, and the mall, the Hornby Mall, have spoken to, are very keen on looking at progressing that.
All right, so let's be thinking of what processes can be used to pick up both of these projects. The video certainly resonates, and thanks for showing it to us. And if the board can continue to work with staff, but certainly you've made us aware of it, and it's something we've got an interest in. So thank you very much indeed, Mike, for showing us the video, raising those issues, but also for your presentation this morning. Thanks very much. Thank you. Jimmy, right, okay, yep. So you'd like to move, and do I have a seconder? And Galloway would like to second. All those in favour.
May I ask the chair one question?
We're done with questions. We're done with questions now. We're out of time for questions. No, we're out of time for questions. This has now been moved and seconded. I'll put the motion.
Thank you.
All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? That's carried. Thank you.
I'll answer your question later.
You can always take
You
a
are
quick.
wrong,
I'm sure you can take it offline.